Studio 5 HT.
Alright.
Here we go.
And we are back with Ben Stark and David Jimenez. Infect vs. Leovold Bug. Leovold's been popular today. Been a lot of Leovold decks. We haven't seen many Leovold resolve on stream, but there's about 7 or 8 decks out there for Leovold in Legacy today. About almost half.
It's a very strong card. It's a deterrent against spot removal, which is so prevalent right now with all of the creature decks rolling around.
Especially with lands too. Even with lands, I'm a Rashad and port your land. I'm a draw a card. Sounds good.
Yeah.
You can keep porting me all day. I will get card advantage. So it looks like we have Dave. He might be mulling. I'm not sure at the moment. We had them start a few minutes ago. Channel Fireball Sleeves, the classics.
Yep.
Seems like they don't feel too bad. Maybe I should get some of those.
I don't know.
You should. You should know.
You're absolutely right. It is something that I probably should know.
What are the sleeves you're getting?
Into the other ones.
What are
The
sleeves
Eclipse
you want?
sleeves.
The Eclipse sleeves,
Yes.
the new ones.
Those new Eclipse sleeves are amazing.
Brought to you by Eclipse. No. I'm gonna get you to get some of those for me. Play some Legacy Dredge, have some fun. By have some fun, I mean ask why they came to my Dredge tournament. The usual.
Yep.
So let's put Leovold up. Well, let's put Infect up there. We haven't shown any Infect. Let's show Blighted Agent or Glistener Elf or anything. Blighted Agent, alright. For those of you who don't know, very unlikely, this is death. This is death embodied. We have the possible turn 2s, things like that, via Glistener Elf. Luckily, Stark should have fairly good answers to things of this nature. 4 Baleful Strix in the main, some Snapcasters for quick blocks, 2 Counterspell. Huh. 4 Force Will, 2 Toxic Deluge in the main board. So that could actually...
Again, when you're expecting a lot of creature decks,
You're gonna put hit in.
sense.
3 Thoughtseize, 2 Fatal Push. This is gonna be a hard matchup for Dave to pull out of, I think.
Dave is the gentleman on Infect, correct?
That is indeed. That is Afro Dave. Because their team is Team Dave. There are 3 Daves on their team.
That is a-
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why their name is insert clever name here.
Gotcha.
This will be Legacy round 5.
Yes.
And this will be to see who can make top 8. I believe
Yep.
they are
This
8th.
is, this is a win and in situation.
I believe it's 8th and 9th place fighting it out.
Do not know.
I think so. I believe they were.
Ooh, some camera movage.
You know, just a little 3D motion for you guys. Getting a little motion sickness. It's fine. And I believe
Yep.
Dave's going to keep this 6. So we're going to start it off with Inkmoth Pass. I see double Inkmoth, so I'm assuming Inkmoth Pass.
Moth Pass is nice. I mean, especially when you have the redundancy, you can bait out that early game wasteland. Go back to a 0 board state.
That is true. Putting 2 cards down, so I'm assuming it's not. I'm going to say Glistener Elf. Glistener Elf or Noble.
Again, pretty much you just want to just continue putting out bodies.
So we got Treetop Village into Glistener Elf. And
Yeah.
he has the prettiest foils. Dave has been trying hard to beat James at foiling decks. 12 posts is 100% foiled now, minus
Yep.
black bordered drops. We're going to see a Deathrite Shaman. Interestingly enough, I think Deathrite will eventually just lose, depending on the hands we have.
That's right, it's a good blocker.
Treetop
until
there?
you pump it. Exactly.
Exactly,
So it's trying to figure out if your opponent is willing to make that kind of trade early
Quote-
on.
right,
But when you
yeah.
see the Treetop Village, it's not much of a trade.
It's much of a I'm just going to die. We see the Verdant Catacombs here. Looks a lot like Blood Crypt, a lot like Bloodstained Mire. You know, just masterpiece problems.
Yes.
Just saying. And we have a broken sleeve. We'll see a black mana tapped, and we'll see a Thoughtseize on Dave. I believe his hand is double Force of Will Inkmoth Nexus. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a Brainstorm, I couldn't quite tell.
Is the Infect match favored in a match like this one? Like,
I think it's actually, from the list I'm looking at for Ben Stark, I feel like it's a fight uphill. We have mainboard Toxic Deluge, Baleful Strix, 2 Counterspell, 4 Force Will, a number of Dazes, maybe?
So it has the same problems as its modern counterpart.
Correct. If you can remove the creatures,
You're
it's
done.
game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now Dave is getting the Trop. Are we going to see another broken sleeve? He's got to fix that.
He's fixing all of his sleeves. Good opportunity, while you're trying to shuffle them out, but that's fine.
He's had these sleeves for a long time. I'm surprised he hasn't swapped them out before events happened.
Yep.
But we all have limited time. I'm gonna want to say he has Brainstorm in hand if he's doing anything like this before a Thoughtseize.
Yeah, one of the big issues playing against Infect is having knowledge.
Right.
If you know how quickly before they go off, you can play around it.
That's
right?
true. I'll
Doing
take
the
2, I'll
Brainstorm
take 2.
will totally be able to hide what it is that you have available to you.
Okay, we're going to see Ben Stark Force Will that, pitching Vendilion Click. Effectively a 2-for-2 trade now, because you've made him waste a card, and Dave had Force Will.
Oh.
So we have double Inkmoth Nexus. Nothing crazy is changing on their sleeve. We got to talk to him about that, don't we? Now this still puts a relative clock on the field. We're going to see 2 mana. I want to say we're going to see Tarmogoyf? Baleful Strix, alright.
Baleful Strix.
Now that's a good turn.
Yep.
Yeah, Baleful Strix is great at blocking Inkmoth Nexus.
And Dave is going to probe his opponent. We're going to see Brainstorm, Misty, Underground Sea. Lose the life, draw a card. Good effective redraw in this matchup. Another Force Will, that Judge Force Will. So, are you willing to offer the trade here because you have so many creatures?
Absolutely, and especially because you'd rather trade your Glistener for the Baleful Strix as opposed to your Inkmoth Nexus.
They
for
can't be
Baleful
destroyed
Strix.
at sorcery speed. Toxic Deluge doesn't hit it, things of that nature.
Correct.
And your opponent doesn't have any removal in hand. He has drawn Ponder and has a Brainstorm in hand. So we are going to see the Brainstorm at main phase 1, which is not the usual. Usually you do Ponder here, but you have the
It
fetch.
depends. No,
He has the fetch.
If you have the fetch, you can go ahead and Brainstorm. If you don't, go ahead and Brainstorm. You got the Ponder to shuffle away if needed.
And it looks like he drew another land. Well, so it's not too
The
bad
Verdant
here.
Catacomb, so we're fine.
And now Dave could just effectively be drawing gas. Let's see, we see Force. We saw he's going to play Acid Inkmoth, activate Inkmoth, and Pump. So we're going to see a black. I'm going to say Fatal Push. We will see Fatal Push, which is a shame. That is one less card. Treetop Bracer. Yeah, no, it looks like that art. 100% the promo looks like that.
There we go.
Inkmoth.
There we got the Inkmoth Nexus.
Super cheap right now. They're like $20. I've actually thought about putting Infect together as well, for the cheapness of the deck minus drops.
Yeah.
Or I could just play Modern and be a normal person.
And there's Pendelhaven.
Pendelhaven.
Again, Inkmoth Nexus is a 1/1 when it becomes a creature. Making it 2/3 is very relevant, especially when you're blocking 2/2 flyers or the 1/1 flyers that you're not trading.
Correct. Now this is where I think Ben Stark has a good advantage against Dave here. There's not much else he can do. He's going to get Thoughtseize again. He's going to see Berserk and Force Will. I believe he's going to take Berserk. Or, yeah, he has to take something.
He has to take something, absolutely.
And now their life total hasn't changed on the pad. So they don't like us, apparently. So we should ask them if they could put them. Would you mind asking them to put it on the pad for us?
Or just sit over there and do the life totals for them.
Or whichever it is.
Whichever one they want.
Whichever one they're willing to accept. Back massage as the usual. Cool.
And realize that Berserk is removal. So let's bring up Berserk just so you
And Berserk
can
is
see.
attacking creature. Well, Beseech the Queen.
No, I really actually spell it.
Berserk, alright.
Berserk. There we
Berserk
go.
for combat
It's
step.
just
Damage
it's just,
step.
Yeah, it's just target creature gains trample and gets +X/+0. Alright? What's important here is that you destroy the creature. Destroy that creature if it attacked this turn.
So I thought it said
So that's
sack.
a way of no, but this is a way of getting rid of opponent's creatures. So if they decide, okay, I want to swing in with my little 1/1 just to get that 1 point of damage, go ahead, take the extra 1 point of damage. But now they don't have a creature anymore.
Now they don't have a Baleful Strix, now they have a Delver.
Mhm.
I'll take 6 off your Delver. Now I won't be
Exactly.
taking 15.
Exactly.
We do have Force Will in hand. He's seen a lot of Force Wills already. I don't think you want to see Force Will too much in this matchup, actually. I think you just want to be fast. He's going to start swinging him with the, with him there. Red Shaman is a strong card. Definitely a bane to my existence. But we see another Glisten Ralph. I think we're going to animate and see how this goes. And pump.
Again, he's tapped out. He can't do the fatal push. So getting that 2 points of infect damage
Correct.
is going to be relevant.
So now we have 4 points of Infect. We will keep it on total here. This is a different life counter than usual. He could just 2 him to death.
He could.
He could
Absolutely.
honestly just keep 2ing him to death. We don't see in Bensark's hand, we see a Brainstorm, I believe, and a land? Or Ponder. Ponder and land. In 3 cards, we're going to see Snapcaster, Baleful Strix, and a 3rd Mystery card. So I believe he's going to keep those on top.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 3 mana. You got effectively 5 mana available.
You're going to snap.
Yeah,
Bolt,
you're
snap,
going to go
Fatal Push.
snap fatal push in your set.
Or just cast a bit. I mean, you can stand. That still works fine.
And again, Baleful Strix again, one of those cards that you have no problems in.
Now he has 3 Death Rates. This is rough. I mean, like you said, Baleful Strix is now not a problem.
Yep.
Berserk. Not Berserk. Invigorate.
Yep.
That's actually pretty funny. Gonna cast a Glisten Ralph. So at this point, do you just swing you don't swing the Ink Muffin?
Yep.
Invigorate. Here's the new art. He has the old foils, I believe. I like the new border on this one. Probably could have updated the art a little bit. Some angry Amazonian with a Loxodon Warhammer. Close to it.
So this is a great way of getting around Lightning Bolt and cards like that are dealing damage to your cards.
If you don't care what
keeping
your
them
opponent's
alive.
life is, you can
Exactly.
just go.
Exactly.
We're going to see both swing here. We're going to see... Now, he does have the Snapcaster for the Fatal Push back. And we're going to see triple block.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's the Invigorate on the Glistener Elf. That's going to make the Glistener Elf a 5/5.
5/5 block.
Yep.
Kill.
Which will kill 2 of the Deathrite Shamans, keep one of them as a 0/1.
Unless we go Snap Push.
Yep.
Which looks like we're going to see Snap Push.
Yep.
Which is not okay. So this is now becoming an extremely losing game for Dave. Eat a card. Eat a card. And just, this is where the incremental comes, yeah.
Yep.
Now this is effective 3-turn clock. Draws, I believe, another Brainstorm. Yeah. Swing for, I would swing for 3. Keep the 2 up if you need it. Just swing the 2.
No reason not to. He's got effectively, 4 damage on board right now.
Right.
So here we go. End of
1,
turn.
2.
Activate Double Deathrite. Get rid of 2 spells, and we've got plenty of spells in all
Absolutely.
the
There's
yards.
been so many counterspells, sorceries, thought seizes. Goes to 5. End of turn, eats a creature just to gain some life.
Yep. Again, that's definitely the way you want to go, especially with Become Immense in the Infect deck. Getting rid of their ability to delve is a huge deal.
That is true. Okay, no, it's in the main board. I was a little worried there for a second. I saw Sylvan Library in the main board. Usually that's a sideboard card. So you will chump here, still get killed, and we're on to the next game.
Yep.
Sideboard for this deck, this matchup here. Ben Stark's side, Surgical Extraction seems like a strong card after enough counterspells. Maybe
If you go turn 1, Force of Will, your Glistener Elf, Surgical Extraction, Glistener
they're
Elf.
now down to 8 creatures in the
Yeah.
deck.
You know, you have a finite number of targets
There
here.
is one Abrupt Decay, one Fatal Push, which I believe both would be coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Duress does not seem as strong.
I mean, Duress gets rid of, you know, all of the pump spells. And then again, you want as much information as possible. So, you know, the Thoughtseize, the Duresses, those allow you to see your opponent's hand, that you can tell how close you are to being infected out of the game. Just play around.
There's a Notion Thief in the sideboard.
Notion Thief is great.
I love Notion Thief.
Seems really good with Leovold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that kind of sorts. And there also was another Snapcaster and a Murderer's Cut. I believe Murderer's Cut will come in a lot of hate for this deck. Anything on Dave's side that he could bring in that would just slow this down a little bit.
So, we've got Nature's Claim, which can take care of the Baleful Strix, since it is an artifact. Crop Rotation will help you keep your lands alive, especially if you decide to
Get Wastelanded?
Get Wastelanded or such. Crop Rotation can save some of your lands.
Okay.
Gravedigger's Cage, we saw, you know, several Snapcasters,
So,
that'll
bringing that
definitely
in
be
would not be a bad idea.
exactly. Same with the Bajuka Bog, being able to go crop rotation into Bajuka Bog. A lot of Dave's sideboard is spot removal, so we've got, you know, Dismembers and the such, and Graveyard Fate, which
For the decks that he should lose to.
exactly. So those are the decks that you'll typically lose to, so you want to be able to get rid of all of that. You know, one card that I do think that we'll be seeing is Sylvan Library. So being able to outdraw a Leovold deck would definitely
Because your
help.
life total is minimal in your deck.
Exactly.
You go turn 2 Sylvan Library, turn 3, get 3 cards.
Mhm.
It could be double Invigorate, and they're dead.
Seeing how at that point their only disruption really is sorcery speed,
Yeah,
you know, they're not going to know what you have on the top of your deck.
correct. That's what we didn't see in that matchup at all, where Vine's Vastwood.
Correct. Vine's Vastwood is an amazing card in Infect because it gives your opponent your creatures hexproof. So in response to a Fatal Push, you go ahead, Vine's Vastwood, kick it, make your guy bigger and hexproof.
Yeah, for
Fatal
2
Push physics.
For 2 mana, you get +4/+4 and Hexproof. That sounds like a hell of a card.
Side note, I don't know how relevant it is, but it can also target a player's, an opponent's creature.
That is correct. So if you're going for a buff, things of that nature, no, stop that.
Yeah, I've seen that type of play, especially you know, in the Stoneforge decks. Okay, I'm gonna go to equip my Jitte. No, you're not.
Stop. Which is super relevant.
And again, for 1 green, you know, you don't even have to kick it. You just need the hexproof, and that's
That's
it.
a
You're
really
good to
good
go.
card.
Yeah.
Also, why Infect is such a strong deck.
Correct. Being able to give your creatures hexproof is
Very
vital to keep your creatures alive. Now you're just dealing with, you know, sweepers and such. But that's why, you know, you'll see a lot of infectors just kind of bait those early swings just to see, okay, are you going to block? Are you
Right.
you know, going
Are
to
you
get rid of it?
actually going to do this?
And so many players will just allow that early damage. You know,
Mhm.
they're not willing to make that trade. Now, granted, when you got, you know, Treetop Village and such like that where you can pump, yeah, but realize that if you block and they go ahead and do a Vine's Vastwood kick,
Pendlehaven.
you know, you've blocked. So that means that you're not. That's 5 damage. You're, you know, 5 infect. That's half your life right there that you're keeping
Right.
out of the
Yeah,
game.
you meant Pendlehaven, right?
Where did I say? Treetop?
Treetop.
Yeah, I meant
They look the same. The promo looks the same as the regular art. It's which no, that's a lot of cards. I have the problem with that with what's the card in Sen? The Tri-land for Abzan, and then Ancient Ziggawat, because then the both promos
Yeah,
they look the same. I'm like Ancient Ziggawat, like no, I'm like oh
Ziggawat and
I forgot the name of it.
is it Nomadic Outpost?
I think it might be Nomadic Outpost. Let's look it up.
The Abzan one. I think it's Nomadic Outpost. If I remember from my limited days.
Nomads.
Nomad Outpost.
Nope, that is Mardu.
Not
Okay.
We can go through this all day, guys.
Something Citadel, maybe? Not Seaside Citadel.
Who's that?
Sandstep Citadel.
Sandstep Citadel.
Sand
There it
Steps.
is.
So if we had the promo art, it looks very close to the foil the old foil Ancient Ziggawat.
It's a Ziggurat, but
Ziggurat.
we'll go
Is it
with
Ziggurat?
Yeah,
Ziggurat.
yeah.
I was like,
I
are
was
you
just-
talking about a ziggurat?
I was just literally
Whoops.
just going with the Ziggawat.
Like ziggurat. It sounds like some odd
There it is.
electricity.
Ziggurat. Okay, my bad. So I hope we're going to see the turn 1 Glistener again. It looks like Ben Stark, I spoke a little early there. There are no dazes in this build, which seems to be a responding theme today. A lot of decks that are running blue are cutting out on the dazes. I feel it's a very strong card.
It can be if you're playing on curve, but especially when you're expecting to see, a lot of decks that don't care about playing on curve, that they're not going to be as aggressive, or they're willing to kind of sit back and control the game. The days end up, just filling your yard, setting you back a turn.
How's that feel? No mongoose.
Oh, I don't mind.
I don't mind that. We are going to see a taxing probe before anything is played. We are going to see... Oh, buddy.
Oh, we got the Baleful Strix,
Toxic Deluge, Fatal
Toxic
Push.
Deluge. Yeah.
This is a hand Dave does not want to see, with enough land to do it all.
Yeah.
2 turns. I think you still play it out. I think you still play it, get rid of the
Absolutely, and especially if Dave has any sort of answers. I mean, he's got the Force of Will, so
does.
you can get into a counter war. You can't, Ben's hand is his resource right now. So being able to get around all of those resources.
And that is a
where it's
Blighted
gonna be.
Agent is what we want to see. Which is where you will Force Will this end of turn Fatal Push. Right now. Or Daze it.
Yep.
That also works. This is why Daze is a good card, even on the play.
Again, Dave is playing, to his outs. He's doing his best to keep all of his resources up. He knew about the Force of Will. The Daze was the unknown where, I can totally get there if he decides to do this.
Correct. Which he tried. He Force Willed and Ben Stark Force Willed and he Force Willed back.
And it was
now we do
absolutely
see
necessary.
Invigorate in hand. If we can see another Invigorate and then the Pendlehaven, that's it right there. That's your turn 3 kill.
Right.
You're going to
And-
fetch, he's going to see probably Baleful Strix here, I want to say. I mean, if you do a counter war with an Infect player, it's hard sometimes. Usually they have Spell Pierces, things of that nature too, that would have worked, but didn't have the mana. So he's going Sylvan Library.
Sylvan Library, and again, Ben is hoping that he doesn't lose this turn.
Yes.
And he is up a game, so he can afford that risk. But the Sylvan Library is just going to allow him to massage the top of his deck just perfectly.
And you're just going to Pendlehaven here, keep some mana up, no need to get greedy if you can't go for it. I think I see double Invigorate. They might be playing it off for a little bit here. I believe Windswept Teeth, Invigorate. Maybe it's a Glistener Elf. It might be a...
Yeah, it's hard to tell with the angles. But, and I think this is key with playing an Infect deck. You got to make sure that it's not all in. Sometimes you just need to be able to get the 1 and 2 points of damage. Because, you know what? If your opponent isn't doing very much, you don't need to go all in. You just go, okay, here's 2 more.
And here's what Ben Stark's going to do, what you should do against every Infect match. I'll take the 3. I'll take 8 damage.
Yep.
They're not going to hit me down.
Yeah, you need resources. And especially after the Force of Wills, you need the resources.
You are out. Now he does have Toxic Deluge in hand, which, do you think he'd waste it on this?
I would.
Yeah?
You have a single creature out on the battlefield, and you know that, based on the information you had before, you knew that he didn't have creatures ahead of time. So go ahead. Get rid of the 1 creature. It's 1, point of damage. And go ahead. Get rid of it.
Because he can't block it.
He can't pump it. He can't kick Vines of Vastwood, so it's not going to be a 5/5. It's just a 1/1. And the way of beating Infect is getting rid of their creatures.
Yep.
And the best way of doing that is at Sorcery Speed, because you want them to burn all of their buffs on your turn.
Gotcha.
That way, that's points of Infect damage that you're not receiving.
Gotcha, okay. And it looks like he's not going to do it. Looks like he's going to keep back up for now.
No, he decided to brainstorm, shuffle away some of the cards that he got with Sylvan Library, and Sylvan Library is just a way of taking as deep as possible, and that's fine.
It's true. Maybe we'll see another land come up. This is where Dave could fight it pretty easily. Buff Pendlehaven, or is he just going in for the 2? Or is he
Just gonna go in for the
buy
2.
you and go for a
and
Murderous
that's okay.
Cud? Murderous Cud is the one he could not handle. So he has another Blighted Agent in hand. He also has a Glistener Elf. I think he's going to bait with the Glistener, see if it's worth it. Okay.
And again, this is, he saw the Toxic Deluge, so you're only gonna have 1 creature out at a time.
Right, you're going to hold it off, you're going to wait slowly.
Exactly. So
Make you waste some kill splits here. He might take 2 here, getting 4 damage, but he looks like he's just going to keep the 1. Realizing you can't bring yourself to 1 on your own. At that point, it's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah, especially in a deck that runs brainstorms and fetch lands, you can't afford to be at 1.
Right. So we're going to see 3. We're going to see Toxic
Toxic
Deluge for 1.
Yep.
If he does, it says for 1, he does have Invigorate in hand. So is it worth using the Invigorate here?
No.
No.
Not if you have another creature.
Okay.
Go ahead, let the 1 happen. You know.
We're going to see a Brainstorm. Which it looks like what his plan is. 1, 2, 3. A lot of blue there. Knew what he wanted. Fetch, get it away. And we'll probably see Blighted Agent.
I would hope so.
Get it out. Your opponent, make your
Yeah.
opponent have to
I mean,
have a few more.
Especially when you start getting into this stage of the game, you're expecting your opponent to start dropping some of the other creatures in order to block. So if you get the, Baleful Strix out, or even a Deathrite Shaman, just you want to be able to connect.
Well, sadly you can't. Because Blighted Agent is unblockable. That was not a good clause they put on that card. Let's give it Infect. Let's also make it stupid.
Seems good.
Seems like a plan. Oh, the bridge shuffle, it
And-
hurts.
And it's blue, so you can always pitch it to force a draw
That's
if
also
needed.
accurate. I believe we see another Fatal Push there. Sylvan Library is a hell of a card.
Yeah, and Sylvan Library lets you dig for anything you need.
They're
Like
so
fetch
cheap.
lands, plunders. You've got all the options you need. It's going down to 3. That means he likes what he sees.
Now, he did see that he also has another Abrupt Decay in hand, I believe. So, double removal spell is what you want here. And we are going to, I believe, just see the Fatal Push. Maybe? No? That's 3 Fatal Pushes
Yep.
this game?
Yep.
That's a lot of Fatal Pushes.
And there's the
Baleful
Baleful Strix. Lets him draw a card. Baleful
a
Strix
lot.
is a body. Really, Baleful Strix can continue coming in for 1. David has no creatures, so Baleful Strix does not need to block at the moment.
Correct. Dave has lost 3 creatures in the deck. He has not seen Inkmoth Texas yet. We're going to see 2 mana into a 3rd Blighted Agent.
Yep.
You can only do so much, I guess, Ben.
But again, Ben has removal, and he's got the Sylvan Library to keep looking, as deep as he needs.
Correct. Takes 1 card there, not worried about it. It's getting low on life, though. Funny if a Noble Hierarch came out. So we see a
We've got the
Snapcaster,
Snapcaster
Fatal
into the
Push.
Fatal Push.
When you
Again,
got it
this
all,
is-
you got
this
it
is-
all.
Exactly, and this is exactly what Ben Stark's deck wants to see. He wants to be able to see a steady stream of removal.
Yep. And he's just going to pass here. 2 blue cards in hand, probably a Brainstorm or something of the like.
Again, another body, so 3 damage coming in. It's
Each
going to
turn.
continue like this each turn.
And this just seems like such a grind for Dave. Another Baleful
Yep.
Strix. Now he has the 4 in the main, so he's fine in there. We're going to see the other Trump. I think this is just too much for Dave to overcome.
Yeah, especially with the Sylvan Library, Dave's got to know that Ben Stark just has a handful of counters and removal spells. I mean,
Right.
it's
Now-
just the proper assumption, especially when Ben Stark is willing to pay life. That means that it's cards that he wants.
Now, funny little thing. Does he have the 1 of Dryad Arbor in his sideboard? And his main board, sorry.
Nope.
Damn. He used to have Dryad Arbor in there a long time ago. At 3 life.
Yeah, I mean, at 3 life, you just go Dryad Arbor, swing, what? Berserk. And let it go. I mean, yeah, you have
Exactly.
a great time.
So we see Daze, double Invigorate. Which, that is lethal. If it was.
Correct.
Now, his opponent just thought seized? Wouldn't his life go to
We
1?
lose the rest.
Was it a duress? The
Or-
1 of duress
or-
on the board?
Oh no. Yeah, it was either duress or a probe. It's hard to see the card.
He took the Invigorate. I believe that's a
So, yeah.
Thoughtseize on top. So I'm not sure where he gained life at. A pretty Judge Forest.
We'll see.
Dave keeps breaking sleeves. I don't.
Hmm.
It's like a curse. What happened?
Shuffling harder than Killer.
Basically.
Yeah.
Alright.
So we'll see if Dave has.
So he is that one. Okay.
So it was the Thoughtseize.
Come on, gut shot. The gut shot heard around the world. We all know the problems here. There is an ink moth nexus. And 17 forms of removal. Take Dave, bring him into lethal range. Just like the last round. So that is how this holds up. Could take another card, we never know. Animate.
We're gonna see.
Pump.
We're gonna animate pump.
Block snap.
Yep.
Take two more. That's
Yep.
it.
That's it.
Um,
Ben Stark got there.
Ben-Star got there. Was a harder I thought Infect might have had an easier matchup to this. But
I mean, just looking at Ben Stark's list, the sheer volume of removal he has
it's so much.
makes Infect. I mean, you just have to have every single counterspell, play everything on curve. It is an uphill battle from the very beginning. But the other side of that is, if for whatever reason the bug deck, falters,
Right.
and they don't counter the right spell, or they run out of removal,
Infect will get him.
Infect will just get there because they just go, okay, here's two more, here's two more, here's two more, and you just keep going until you can't do anything.
Sounds good. So we'll be back shortly here. We're gonna take a small break, see if we can get another round in, see how much time we got. I believe a modern player on their team is playing taking turns.
Yep.
We'll see if we can take some turns.
All right, thank you.
Welcome to Trance from Studio 5 HT. Welcome to Trance from Studio 5 HT. Welcome to Trance from Studio 5 HT.